Israel News. I'm with my editor, David Sidman.
Hello.
We're in the field. I mean, really in the field. We're south of Jerusalem, in the hills of Judea and north of Efrat. We're going to pay a visit to an old friend of mine, Jenna Lewinsky.
I'm going to give him like a 360 panorama.
Yeah, let's give you a little panorama of where we've taken you. We're in the area of Bethlehem, Beit Lechem. We passed Herodion on the way up here, just to give you an idea of where we are, the hills of Judea. We're paying a visit to my friend Jenna, who has really done what I would think was impossible. She had a herd of over 100 sheep. And the sheep they're the only breed of sheep that is speckled and spotted. And for those of you who know the Bible, speckled and spotted sheep, they trace their genes back to this region. And that's why they're called Jacob's sheep, because just as Jacob made a deal with Lavan, and yeah, okay, just tell me also if the audio and the video are okay. Okay, are the audio and video okay?
Are they saying it's sideways?
Yeah, I don't think it's sideways. Is the audio sideways? The video sideways? That happens sometimes. Let me know if everything is looking good. Jacob sheep, they are spotted and speckled and have 4 horns each. Great, thanks. They have 4 horns each. They're very spectacular looking, and they're known to have come from this region, and genetic studies back that up. And they are perfectly like the story in the Bible. And Jenna brought a herd of 100 sheep from Western Canada to Israel to reunite Jacob's sheep with Jacob's people. And the story's been going on for, I think, 3 or 4 years now. The dogs are coming out to say hi. The story's been going on for a couple years because it's really, it's a biblical story to bring the sheep out. Oh, there's Jenna. Hi, Jenna. Okay. And I don't know how she did it. It's really superhuman, but she actually... What? So, this is Jenna with her faithful sheepdogs. Hi, guys. Faithful sheepdogs coming out to say hi. Hi, Jenna. We're doing a Facebook Live. Long time no see. So, I'm sorry, I can't read this. Shalom from Aurora, Missouri. Aurora, Missouri is saying hi. Okay. So
I have a lot of dogs, like 13.
She has 13 dogs because she's got a lot of sheep. And Jenna.
Usually, if they walk down, they might bite.
Froggy.
Well, I would want them to be protecting the sheep. They're very. You can just about hear the sheep now. As I said, these sheep, Jenna, I don't know how you did it. I don't know. God bless you. Reuniting Jacob's sheep with Israel is.
Go sleep.
So you've been here for how long now at this spot?
Exactly a year since yesterday.
So we're on the 1-year anniversary of the new home of Jacob's sheep. How long ago did you land in Israel?
Just 1 second. I just want to ask Duty to go and sleep because he's actually the one that bites.
Sure. Okay.
Duty, go sleep. Okay, very good.
Okay.
At least. Go sleep.
Okay.
I'm fostering like 3 dogs from the SPCA. And one of them is here because he usually bites people. Okay, so sorry, to get back to the question.
How long ago did you bring the sheep to Israel?
I came in November 2016, so it's actually also the 3rd year anniversary.
It's the 3rd year anniversary since
and
Jacob's
1 year
sheep.
in their home.
Oh, what do we have here? What do we have? Say hello, guys. This is seriously a modern miracle. Look how spectacular and unusual these sheep look. Look at that. Look at that. And these guys, they're clearly special. They clearly are happy to be reunited. You can see on them the speckles and the spots that they are the physical embodiment of the story of Jacob. And the horns, these are specifically the horns that were used to blow shofar. And they have 4 of them so that we can get a lot of the mitzvahs. And and there's the little babies. This one wants to play.
He's playing with a bottle.
But the real hero is Jenna. I'm not sure sometimes, to be really honest, if you're crazy, if you have prophecy, but you certainly managed to do this amazing mitzvah that I don't know how you did it. You obviously had superhuman strength. Hashem was looking out for you.
Well, a lot had to come together for it to work out the way it did. So it's got to be a little bit more than coincidence, because
that's very true.
The sheep has been through a lot. I think they've been through fire, we've been through disease, we've been through hellish of quarantine. Remember the flooding we did?
Oh my gosh, yeah. When they first came to Israel, they had to be, they had Zurich, Switzerland. It's amazing. Everyone around the world is looking at the Jacob sheep. Yeah, when they had to be in quarantine because they were livestock, and they got flooded out. There were these. You were down south.
We were in knee-deep mud, and so the state vet eventually, because we spent 5 weeks on the Gaza border with mortars as well.
So these sheep also, just like the Jacob's children were being mortared, the Jacob sheep were being mortared as well. So.
Yes, and then after that, when I left the quarantine, it was kind of funny because I didn't know, because as a new immigrant you're supposed to have a signature and a moving permit to move your animals, but the vet told me orally you can go. So I loaded up all the sheep on a truck and I was on my way to Jerusalem, and then the government called me and said I'm going to jail, I'm running the state quarantine because I didn't get the signature.
I'm laughing because as a new immigrant we all have our stories about the bureaucracy in Israel and how your driver's license, buying a house. Okay, so even the sheep had to go through the new immigrant troubles that we went through.
But the good news, when they called, I would love to go to jail because I didn't have a nice place to sleep for 6 weeks. And I had to take care of the sheep, and so the government didn't want me to be in jail because they don't want to take care of the sheep and feed them and pay their expenses. So the next morning they gave me the signature, and I said, please fetch me tonight. The quicker I get in jail, the better. I would love a nice meal, and I can study at university.
Why did they want to put you in jail in the first place?
Because she was moving the sheep without a permit.
Yeah.
Even though she got a veterinarian's...
A veterinary told me orally, the state vet said you can move the animals, but I was new immigrant, so I didn't understand the signature part. So this was one funny moment. And then there were some others.
So
this is a cage.
So this is the sound of sheep and dogs and the return to the hills of Judea.
Ancient Canaanite dog.
Oh, he's a Kanani?
Yeah. He was in a cage for 1 year at the SPCA.
Caleb Kananis, they're very special dogs. For people who like dogs, they're
the only breed indigenous to Israel.
And they have a very special hide.
Yeah, he was 1 year in a cage and he bit every foster home where he went. And so he came to my farm and he hasn't bit anybody or anything because he has all the space to run. And so about 3 or 4 of the dogs are just dogs I fostered in the estate. They didn't want to go back to the shelter. So this is Malachi. He actually grooms the sheep.
Say hi, Malachi. Say hi. Okay. How many sheep do we have now?
We have about 50 sheep.
50 sheep. Are we coming up on birthing season?
Yes, we'll get another 25 lambs this year. So we'll be about 75. We had a little bit of an outbreak here at Migdal Eder. We had a Palestinian viper that killed a couple of my lambs this year.
Oh, a snake.
A snake, a bad one. The same snake, the same.
A viper without teeth.
Yeah, Palestinian
Palestinian
viper.
on two.
I was living this whole year up until before Rosh Hashanah in a tent, and the snakes also came to my tent.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah,
Jenna,
that's when I wanted to pack up and leave.
God bless you. I have to say, I lived in this area for 15 years in a town called Bad Ain, and the hills are a place to live. There's
Scorpions, snakes.
there's scorpions, there's snakes, there's scorpions and snakes that go on two legs as well. And do you have what kind of security do you have out here?
You know what? I don't live by the sword, so I don't have any weapons. So you saw my security, it's the dogs. I think they do a pretty good job because I've had no trespassing.
You've had no because one of the reasons why we don't have free-range cattle or much livestock in Israel is it gets stolen.
There's actually two reasons why my livestock doesn't get stolen. The first is that they're so unique that if a thief has them, everybody notices them and reports it. So they don't want to be seen dead with a sheep. Another reason is I think Hashem protects the sheep because once, actually in Israel proper, when I was in Ramot Naftali, they cut the barn and all the sheep got out in the moshav and they still all came home and nobody took one. It could be that the sheep made the hole themselves. We would never really know. But I think it looked like a human. So.
Wow.
But then there are little naughty, so who knows?
Wow. Can we go in?
Yeah. I just gotta get the drill because yesterday they actually broke my doors off the sheep. And so
I just want to give everyone just an idea. Jenna, I mean, God bless her. She came out here, literally. I mean, God bless her. This is it. We're not hiding. That's Bethlehem. Right outside of Bethlehem. We're not hiding an apartment building behind the tent. And we're not hiding the jacuzzi. And we're not. This is what you see is what there is, you know. And Jenna's. Where do you live?
Okay, so just before Rosh Hashanah, we built a caravan which is over there. It's not finished yet. It has nothing inside, just 4 walls and a floor. So we still have to build bedrooms, a kitchen, a bathroom, all of that. But it's definitely a step up from the tent because the funny thing was it finished a few hours before Rosh Hashanah and I just managed to put a bed in there. That's really all that's in there. And the
Where were you living before that?
I lived in that, I took some of the wood down. I had a tent in that box over there.
Jenna lived in that box?
Yeah.
In that box? Not in the car, the box behind it.
Yes.
That's where she lived.
Yes. And the joke is, the first thunderstorm that was really bad came on Rosh Hashanah afternoon and I was so happy to be in the caravan because a thing I don't like is snakes and thunder.
Jenna, God bless you. Also, Jenna and I want to mention one name. Jenna and I have a guardian angel in common. Rob Lauderdale. God bless him. I'm going to cry now. Okay. Rob Lauderdale, before I started writing, I was going through a very difficult period, and he's a man who knows how to give with all his heart. Not just to give, but to give with his heart. And he's been very special to me. He helped me out through a difficult period, and he's connecting with Jenna.
I showered at his house for the last 422 days.
There you go. And
he cooks me meals every day, even if I insist I'm not hungry.
I just want to. Every time I tell a story like Jenna's, or every time I tell Jenna's story, I want to say that I've been writing about the redemption for 4 years now, and I keep running into the same people over and over. It's not going to be. Don't wait for the whole world to bring redemption. You know, it's amazing how much individual people can do all by themselves, like Jenna. You know, you would think that you would need a government organization to reunite the Jacob sheep with the people. No, all you need is a Jenna. If you get a Jenna, then the Jacob sheep can come home to Israel. It's really just who.
I actually understand exactly how that concept works. It's because if it was a government organization or large people, then everyone will doubt if Hashem had a role in it, because he's supposed to get the credit for everything. So often, even when I had a plan, like when I wanted to build my caravan, I had a glorious plan how I was going to fundraise to get the money, but my fundraising wasn't going anywhere and I collected too little. And then suddenly, when Hashem moved and opened the door, then we got the 4 walls and the roof. So it's just that when we forget to give him credit, or like forget who's really in control of the project, things don't go so well. So we have to learn to be humble shepherds.
There's a huge lesson right there. It's a huge lesson. I was supposed to be this week at the government media summit in Jerusalem with all important media people, and through a bureaucratic snafu, I ended up not getting it. And instead, I said, well, if I'm in this area, I have to go see Jenna. And, you know, Hashem is in the still small voice. And the still small voice in this case is Jenna saying, I trust Hashem, I'm going to bring the sheep home to Israel. So, wow. Okay, so let's go into the sheep. Okay.
He wants to know how many dogs you have.
13.
So, yeah. Oh, Malki, you're back in Arizona. I'm so happy. Indiana, gosh, this is amazing. This is amazing. I don't. Yeah, how are you guys awake? But my gosh, you're and there's Anthony. So that's South Africa. I guess there's no surf for you to be photographing. As I said, we're if anyone just joined in, we're here at Chavat Eitam, the farm of Eitam, and Jenna Lewinsky, I think she's finally found a home for the wandering Jacob sheep in the hills of Judea, and she's really, I mean, if you see, it's such a beautiful, beautiful hilltop. Those are Arab villages, so she's not, and she trusts in Hashem and came out here. Yeah, Anthony, you're right. I mean, it's the biggest blessing through my job is I get to meet the most amazingly wonderful, nice people.
Bust through the.
What's going on here? Yesterday the sheep broke my gate, and I don't have a repairman yet to fix it, only later today, so I just boarded them up like this. But my drill is like way over at the house.
So we're gonna have to bust through this thing.
He said he's gonna bust us, so let's see.
I also want to point out Jenna has also been blessed. She's doing all this while she's pregnant.
I'm 9 months pregnant.
9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay. I am no longer going to argue for my limitations. Okay. Jenna has just shown me that. Yay. Okay, David. You're a man's man. Okay. I am no longer going to argue for my limitations. Jenna has shown me that my limitations are silly. Do you pick up that sledgehammer?
I do, yes.
Okay, Jenna is 9 months pregnant and picks up this huge sledgehammer to do her work. Let's say hello to the sheepies. Okay, I'm going to take you right in there. Yeah, I meet all the most amazing people and also the most amazingly nice sheep. Okay.
I'm going to have a son, so I can't wait that he's going to be feeding the sheep and cleaning the barn.
Who is? Oh, right. Yeah. Jenna, your little boy's going to grow up amongst the sheep. Okay, let's see if the sheepies will come over and say hi. Okay, guys.
Oh my God.
It's okay, they'll come back.
Is this the Abba?
Hey, stay in chat for coffee, you.
Okay, Washington State. Do you have Jacob sheep up there? I don't think so. Jacob sheep came home. They're in Israel. I'm going to be writing an article about my visit with Jenna, and you can read all the details about the sheep and their history.
They'll be back in 1 minute, the sheep. They always run away and then they come back. They're too curious.
Okay.
coming back again. See, they're really coming back. Come here.
So what do you say, Itai? Nice sheep?
It's a dog.
It is certainly a dog.
The most exotic sheep in the world, and all he cares about is this dog.
Come here, Edith.
Look, you found something.
Say hello, come.
So these are the sheep. Oh!
You found something under there.
You want to
These
say hi to
are
Edith?
so cute. These are the cutest sheep in the whole world. Say hi.
She loves the show.
Say hi.
Say hello.
Say hi. Say hello. Say hello. There you see 4 little horns.
5.
5 little horns. 5 little horns.
She's got 2 on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She's a 5-horned.
I am
ewe.
sure you give all of them names.
This is Yehudit.
This is Yehudi.
And this is Rafi.
Rafi.
This is so we call her the sister.
The sister.
He likes a lot of attention too. They all come one by one for attention now. They can't resist. And the reason he's actually digging here is he finds some stuff, like, I don't know, he smells something that he wants down there.
So this is,
This one nice?
Yeah.
I'm going to take the camera off because I am not, this is not a time for a selfie. This is a time. No, I want to like, the real stars, Jenna, the sheep.
This is Jamie.
Jamie. Say hi, Jamie. Oh, there you go.
She kisses.
Now you all just got kissed by Jamie. Jamie gave everyone watching this a kiss.
I just want to get
Okay.
Brosh out again. Brosh.
Jamie, you want to kiss the people again?
Come here.
Jamie? Jamie, kiss the people? Kiss the people, Jamie? Okay. Yeah, this is Jacob's sheep. This used to be a collector's breed that a few farmers would have for fun, but they actually genetically belong in this region, and they have a lot of, they're very hardy in this region, and I mean, they've gone through a lot and they're still here. Yes, well, this I think is where she was supposed to be in Migdal Eder. This is Migdal Eder, which I'll also write about that. That is, Migdal Eder is supposed to be where the Messiah comes out of. Jack. So Jack, your point about Migdal Eder is very important. Yeah, you want to say hi? You want to say hi? Say hello? Say hello? These are the only Jacob sheep in Israel. So other people may say that they have the Jacob sheep, but the problem is if they're pure Jacob sheep. Jenna has been very, very careful to protect the breeding of the sheep, that they remain purely Jacob sheep. So, yeah, so these sheep are very connected to the return of the temple.
Yes.
Because their wool could be used for making tzitzit, making fringes.
About the temple, they say that any sheep can be used for the temple, but I'll tell you why Jacob's sheep are important in particular. Is because the first temple was built in the merit of Abraham, second in Yitzchak, and the third will be in Jacob. And
Oh, wow.
That's why Jacob's sheep had to come home.
Learn something new every day.
And so that's why even it's very simple. When you read any prophecy that talks about Jews returning, it says, "O house of Jacob." Any messianic prophecy mentions Jacob only.
And the final redemption will mirror the coming out of Egypt. And Moses was very, very specific when Pharaoh said, "You can go, just leave your sheep." And Moses said, "No, we're going with our sheep."
You know, there's actually something about this field, about Moshe and King David. So this field, or the Etam Hill, which is just, it's actually the field where King David had his flock of sheep. It's where Ruth and Boaz met in this field.
Right.
This is the part of my job where I cry.
This is where in the Talmud it's written that King Solomon rode his horses up every morning to the Etam, and there was beautiful gardens and water flowing. We have the aqueducts here, they're just empty at the moment. And it's also where King Herod built the aqueducts that flow from here to Solomon's pools and from there to the temple. But most important is that Josephus actually said that, and there's also writing in the Mishnah, that King David had an argument with the prophet Samuel. And he wanted to build the first Beit HaMikdash right here on this hill.
Get out of here.
But they didn't end up doing it because Moses said it had to be between the shoulders, which is Mount Moriah in Jerusalem. And so this is what's also important.
But one of them got hung up. One of them is in some... So, no, really...
Oh, he got stuck. I was going to go and unstuck it 1 second.
Really, this is... Careful, there's a nail sticking up out of here.
She's okay, she's coming.
But this is really where I cry, because really, I mean, we're not just talking about some sheep coming to some field. We're talking about Jacob's sheep. The history of them is they actually got taken down from Israel to Egypt again, and from Egypt they got taken to Spain.
And they were in North Africa, and the Moorish traders traded them to Spain. 100 years they were in the British Royal Gardens, eating British Buckingham Palace's beautiful lawns. And in the Commonwealth they came as a gift to Canada, to the zoos. And then at a particular time when I moved to Canada as a new immigrant, I found out that all the zoos, there was like a very extreme drought in Canada. And the hay prices were like $50 for a small bale. And so the zoos wanted to send them to auction and to the butcher because they said they're so small, there's not enough like really meat on them, or there's no way really to make money off Jacob's sheep. That's the whole point of Jacob's sheep, to teach you the lesson not to be greedy. It's like Israel, we don't have oil, right?
We don't have much of anything.
Yes, but we're prospering, and it's the same with the Jacob sheep. What the Jacob sheep has, a little bit of wool, a little bit of milk, they have high quality of it in a small quantity. And just like Israel, all the goodness. So the zoos didn't know what to do to feed the animals, which they didn't see much value in them. And so instead of sending them to auction, the first zoo sent them to my garden in Canada in a house. Not exactly a farm, so I got notice. I had 7 days to leave with my first force of sheep. And after that I rented a farm, and then everybody started to hear about Jenna, the Jacob sheep. She's Jewish, she has Jacob sheep, and they started to put the picture together. And because I worked the previous year before that at the Foreign Affairs Ministry in Jerusalem, and my boss became the ambassador to Canada for Israel, I had all the connections, and like I was just situated right to start the process
to make it happen.
Yes. Just wait 1 second. I want to get George out of here. George, out.
So there you see, it's like I'm on the verge of tears, because when we read the Tanakh and we say, oh, it's clear that this person was intended by Hashem to be this, and everything lined up, and you think that that's only in the Bible, but Jenna's been seeing it in her own life for this. I mean, really, I used to be a dairy farmer, and just the idea of moving the baby cows onto the other side was like a major deal. And Jenna brought all of these sheep from Canada, and she sees the hand of God helping her along the way. Not the news story you'd read in any other news, any other media. But I am very proud to say that Jenna is reporting on how God helped her bring the Jacob sheep back to here. The field that David HaMelech, David the king, used to shepherd.
Well, it also mentions Jacob walking with the Jacob sheep. Left Lavan, and Rachel's just buried right over here, 500 meters.
Oh,
so
that's right.
We're
right near Rachel's tomb. And
yes.
Rachel.
And it says in Genesis 35.
Rachel might have been out in the fields helping tend the forefathers of these sheep.
Yes, and in Genesis 35 they pitched their tent past Migdal Eder, which is our place, on the way to Efrat.
And Migdal Eder is also mentioned as the place from which the Messiah will come out of.
Yes, in Micha 4 and 5. So it's a very historically significant place. Migdal Eder was in ancient times the tower where the shepherds watched the temple flocks as well. That's where the tower of the flock.
Oh my goodness! Oh my
so
goodness!
So it has many meningsmigdal eder.
You've got to work really hard to not trip over the stones that are paving the way for the Messiah to come here. It's like...
I always say I hope he's not afraid of dogs.
We actually just wrote about dogs because of the dog that took Kil al-Baghdadi and took this enormous evil out of the world. It was a dog, and dog is Kelev, Kitlev, like the heart of man. And we all know
one of my dogs, the one that plays bull, his name is Caleb, actually.
Okay.
We just named him Dog.
There you go. Ran out of names, your dog. Okay. If I have 10 sons, the last one's going to be boy. Okay. Oh yeah, the sheep. They're all watching you watch us.
They love. They're very curious. They like to see who you are. They're gonna all stare. So don't be shy. It's not the place to visit.
And you can wave, say hi, send your love, send your hearts. Come on, now's the time. The Jacob sheep are watching. Come on.
Jacob sheep.
No one's doing it. Come on, guys.
Quiet
Okay,
practice.
they want to hear their favorite word. Grind. Grind.
There you go.
Grind.
Wait, can I try something? Islam is a religion of peace.
No reaction.
Grind. Grind. They're still in shock.
Let's try this one. Yaakov! Oh, there you go.
That's
There's-
the one.
His
That's
name
the
is
one we're
actually
going to
Jacob.
sacrifice.
Really? You named one of the Jacob sheep Jacob?
Yeah, it's Jacob.
And there's got to be one in here named Sheep. Okay? We're running out of names.
So,
I should say, and I never ever do this, I'm going to be including a link for people who want to help Jenna in this amazing endeavor. Some of the things she does is you can name a sheep. She's obviously running out of names. And I mean, it's clearly not going towards a jacuzzi or...
I don't have
Lavish
electricity, so...
Oh,
I'm
right.
not able to run a
First we get the
jacuzzi.
electricity and the water hooked up, and then we'll work on a jacuzzi. And if there's one person
And
in the
it's
world
not
who
nice.
deserves a jacuzzi, it's Jenna.
And I haven't gone on vacations for 4 years since I've had the sheep. Because
Oh,
I can
my
never
gosh.
leave.
you're living on vacation.
Not quite.
Not quite. Dude. Jenna deserves a vacation. Oh my gosh. So,
It's, many
When you
people
go on
think-
vacation, maybe we'll stay in.
Many people think it's an easy job. You sit in the field and you study the Tehillim all day, right? Like King David, it seems like a simple job. But really it's not. Like just yesterday morning, I thought I was going to have a simple day, and as you saw, they broke, Isaac the ram had a bad morning, so he broke the gates open and they were walking all over the fields. And I don't have a border collie. I have 13 dogs that guard the sheep, but not actually one that collects them together. So I was the border collie. So to get everybody in,
Do you want to get a border collie?
I should
No, approve
I should definitely get a border collie.
I used to have a border collie. They're amazing dogs. They're really
yeah,
wonderful.
Very-
I need a trained one. Otherwise, it will
Yeah.
just be like the rest on vacation. So
They
yeah.
actually have a lot of instincts for it.
Yeah,
So
they kind of train themselves.
they do. They.
So you can see Isaac's horns over here. He did a good job bashing up my fences. So yeah, so part of the winter renovation is I need to put actually a steel fence and not wood, so that we can accommodate Isaac's moods.
Isaac is the trouble.
Yes, he's actually a very good ram. You know, the story about Isaac is that he actually came from the Okanagan, and I was called up and told that he actually, his owner, he bashed her knees when he was like 1 year old, and she wanted to be rid of him. So I didn't want to drive all the way to the Rocky Mountains because it was snow, and the Coquihalla Highway is a nightmare in snow. And an incentive. She said, if you fetch Isaac, I'll give you 2 females. So I decided, okay, right, we'll take Isaac, right? So I went to fetch him, and it was a kind of scary experience because he bashed the inside of our van with the horns, unless we sang Hatikva.
Get
So
outta
we
here.
sang for 4 hours Hatikva, and he would stand on guard, like, and as soon as she stopped singing, he gets angry and he
crazy.
bashed the
You still
window.
sing to him?
How did you think to sing that?
We just decided to sing a tikva. I guess you could sing anything. As long as you sing,
Yeah.
he was happy. Then when we got back, I put him in a pen separate because I had this fierce idea of him because I just heard horns clinging the whole time. And then the trade minister, Ed Fast, came the next morning and he saw Isaac and he said, I want to walk the sheep. So I thought, oh boy. So I put a dog collar around his neck and a chain, and he walked with Minister Efrat. We all sang O Canada for the minister, and he stood again on guard. We sang a tikva.
A Canadian Israeli sheep.
Yes, and when he got this kavod, it changed his life.